Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shri Vasudeva Bhakta-vrinda Aja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shri Vasudeva Bhakta-vrinda Aja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shri Vasudeva Bhakta-vrinda Aja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shri Vasudeva Bhakta-vrinda Haribo Nitai go Nitai go Haribo 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari Hari, Hari Rama, Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Jaya Jaya, Guru Devi, Jaya Jaya, Guru Devi, Jaya Jaya, Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya, Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya, Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya, Nitai Go, Jaya Jaya, Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya, Nitai Go. I'll be reading from Golden Avatar again, Chaitanya, Teachings of Lord Chaitanya. I'll be reading about the development in spiritual life. In a guru, it's said that a guru has this two experiences, itong devotional service and attachment, then in Baba and Mahababa. So first I'll be reading, no? I mean, yung about devotional service and attachment. Chapter 13, of Lord Chaitanya's teachings. Devotional service and attachment. Out of sheer misunderstanding, some transcendentalists think that knowledge and renunciation are necessary for rising to the platform of devotional service. This is not so. The cultivation of knowledge and the renunciation of prohibitive activities may be necessary. May be necessary to understand one's spiritual existence in relation to the material conception of life, but they are not part and parcel of devotional service. The results of knowledge and prohibitive activities are liberation and material sense gratification, respectively. Consequently, they cannot be part and parcel of devotional service. Rather, they have no intrinsic value in the discharge of devotional service. When one is freed from the bondage to the results of knowledge and prohibitive activities, he can attain to devotional service. Since a devotee of Lord Krishna is by nature non-violent, and since his mind and senses are controlled, he does not have to make a special effort to acquire the good qualities which result from cultivating knowledge and performing prohibitive activities. When Uddhava was asking Krishna about rules and regulation according to the Vedic injunctions, he asks, what is it that the Vedic hymns encourage one in material enjoyment, while at the same time, one toward liberation? The Vedic rules are supposed to be ordained by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but apparently there are contradictions, and Uddhava was anxious to know how one can be freed from these contradictions. In reply, Lord Krishna informed him of the super excellence of devotional service. It is neither practical nor necessary for one who is already engaged in devotional service to me. and whose mind is fixed on me to endeavor for the cultivation of knowledge and renunciation. Thus, the Lord's conclusion is that devotional service is independent of any other process. The cultivation of knowledge, renunciation, or meditation may be a little helpful in the beginning, but they cannot be considered necessary for the discharge of devotional service. In other words, devotional service can be discharged independently of the cultivation of knowledge and renunciation. In this regard, there is also a verse from Skanda Puranya in which Parvata Muni told a hunter tribesman, "O hunter, the qualifications which you have just now acquired, such as non-violence in others, are not astonishing, because one who is engaged in devotional service to the Supreme Lord cannot be a source of trouble for anyone under any circumstances." After discussing these points, Lord Chaitanya told Sanatan Goswami, "Thus far I have explained devotional service according to the regulative principles, regulative principles. Now that I shall explain devotional service to you in terms of transcendental attachment. The inhabitants of Vrindavan, Brajavasis, are living examples of devotional service. There is there's Theirs is ideal devotional service, which attachment and such devotion can be found only in Brajabhumi, Vrindavan. If one develops devotional service and attachment by following the footsteps of the Brajavasis, he attains Rajamarga Bhakti or devotional service in attachment to the Lord. According to Bhakta Rasamrita, Sindhu 1 to 70, devotional service with ecstatic attachment for that service, which become natural for the devotee, is called raga or transcendental attachment. Devotional service discharge with such attachment is called ragatmika, and deep attachment with deep absorption in the object of love is called ragatmika. Examples of this can be seen in the activities of residents of Brajabhumi. One who becomes attracted to Krishna by hearing of such attachment is certainly very fortunate. When one becomes deeply affected by the devotion of the residents of Brajabhumi and tries to follow in their footsteps, he does not care for the restrictions or regulations of the revealed scriptures. This is the characteristics of one discharging Raga Bhakti. Devotional service with attachment is natural, and one who has been attracted by it does not argue with those who oppose it, even though others may argue by presenting scriptural injunctions. The natural inclination to devotional service is also based on scriptural injunction, and one who has attachment for such devotional service is not required to give it up simply on the strength of scriptural argument. In this connection, it should be noted that a class of so-called devotees known as Prakrita Sahajiya follow their own concocted ideas and representing themselves as Krishna and Radha, indulge in debauchery. Such devotional service and attachments are false, and those who engage as such are actually gliding down a hellish path. This is not the standard of Pragatmika or devotion. The Prakrita Sahajiya community is actually cheated and very unfortunate. Devotional service with attachment can be executed in two ways, externally and internally. Externally, the devotee strictly follows the regulative principles, beginning with chanting and hearing, while internally he thinks of the attachment which attracts him to serve the Supreme Lord. Indeed, he always thinks of a special devotional service and attachment. Such attachment does not violate the regulative principles of devotional service, and a real devotee adheres to this principle strictly, yet he always thinks of his particular attachment. Since all the inhabitants of Brajabhumi, Vrindavan are very dear to Krishna, the devotee selects one of the inhabitants and follow in his footsteps. in order to be successful in his own devotional service. A pure devotee who is attached to the Lord always follows in the footsteps of personality of Brajabhumi. It is advised in Bhaktivisam Rita Sindhu that a pure devotee attached to devotional service should always remember the activities of a particular inhabitant of Braja. Even though he is not able to live in Brajabhumi or Vrindavan, in this way he can always think of Brajabhumi and Vrindavan. Confidential devotees attached to the service of the Lord are divided into several stages. Such of them are servants, some are friends, some are parents, and some are conjugal lovers. In devotional service with attachment, one has to follow a particular type of devotee of Raja Bhumi in Srimad Bhagavatam. The Lord states, the Lord says, the word mat para is only used to refer to persons who are unsatisfied with the idea of becoming my adherents alone. They consider that I am their soul. I am their friend, I am their son, I am their master, I am their well-wisher, I am their God, and I am their supreme goal. My dear mother, time does not act on such devotees. In Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Rupa Goswami offers his respectful obeisances to those who always think of Krishna as he is, and his relationship as son, well-wisher, brother, father, friend, etc. etc. Whoever follows the principles of devotional service with attachment and follows a particular devotee of Brajabhumi certainly attains the highest perfection of love of Godhead in the spirit. There are two characteristics by which the seeds of love of Godhead can develop, and these are known as rati or attachment and vava, the condition immediately preceding love of God. Head. It is by such attachment and bhava that Supreme Lord Krishna is conquered by his devotee. These two characteristics are present before any symptoms of love of God are manifest. This was also explained to Sanatan Goswami by Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya told him that since there is really no end to describing the systems of devotional service with attachment, he is simply trying to offer a sampling. Lord Chaitanya then described the ultimate goal of devotional service, which is meant for one who wants to attain perfection. When one's attachment to Krishna becomes deep, one attains the condition called love of Godhead. Such state of condition is considered a permanent situation for a devotee. In this regard, Kaviraj Goswami offered this respectful obeisances to Lord Chaitanya for his sublime teachings of love of Godhead, as stated in Chaitanya Charitam Rita, Madhava, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, who but you have awarded such devotional service, O most magnanimous incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For my part, I offer my respectful obeisances to the incarnation known as Gora Krishna. In Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, the state of being in love with the goddess compared to the sunshine emanating from the sun. That shining makes the devotee's heart more and more lovely. The heart of such a devotee is situated in transcendental positions, beyond even the mode of goodness. The process for making the heart even more sterilized with sunshine of love is called bhava. A description of bhava is given by Rupa Goswami. Bhava is called the permanent characteristic of the living entity, and the crucial point of progress for bhava is called the marginal state of love of God. Head. When the bhava state becomes deeper and deeper, learned devotees call it love of God, as stated in Narada Pancharatma. Okay, so I'll stop it from there now for today. So that's about describing the devotional service and attachment and bhava. And basically, this is the condition of a pure devotee. in regards with our celebration of Srila Prabhupada's uh, appearance day. I'll be chanting a little more. Vivo mi taego mi taego haribo haribo 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 mi taego mi taego haribo Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Bol Tiger Tiger Hare Bol Tiger Tiger Hare Bol Haribo, big tiger, Haribo, 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 Gurudev, Jai Jaya Gurudev, Jai Jaya Gurudev, Jai Jaya Gurudev, Jai Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Srila Prabhupada, Jai Jaya Nitai Gaur, Jai Jaya Srila Prabhupada, Jai Jaya Nitai Gaur, Jai Jaya Srila Prabhupada, Jai Jaya Nitai Gaur, Jai Jaya Srila Prabhupada, Jai Jaya Nitai Gaur. Abo, namaste. Abo, everyone.
अरे बहुत बड़ा अपने बीमा दास नमस्ते
Oh, bro. Namaste.
Thank you, Dimadas.
Thank you.
अरे बहुत यादू एंड कपला नमस्ते
Abo. Abo.
उपेंद्र एंड वनिंग द्रौपदी कल्की एंड हनरसिंह दास
Hare Krishna sa lahat.
हरे कृष्णा
Thank you, Aribol.
थैंक यू देन कुया ना
Nawala si Rose.
Oo nga, biglang nawala yung pangalan niya dito. Ano, uwi na? Ayan, Arbol Rose.
Mahina net ni Rose.
Okay.
Rose, open camera ka na. Tsaka mic.